My name is Katie Miller. I'm the Managing Director at Impact Hub Ottawa. We're a collaborative co-working space and community that's focused on inspiring, connecting, and enabling action for a more just and sustainable world. We've adopted the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are a set of 17 goals that 193 nations around the globe committed to as a framework for a more just and sustainable world. I think we need to think about the goals as a collective altogether. And so although one goal like climate change, which does include targets towards reducing emissions and our consumption and to renewable sources of energy, can seem intimidating, I think it's important to see the interconnection of our ability to achieve that for other targets, like number 3 or 2, which is well-being and health. By taking more active forms of transportation, you can support being healthier as a human being by walking or taking a bicycle to work, or at least walking to the LRT now. But you can also support, with less emissions in the air, we're breathing in healthier and cleaner air. I think it's important to remind ourselves that we aren't perfect in Canada, and although our day-to-day life seems great, we have a lot of freedoms, our way of living is affecting, others. And our way of consumption is currently creating garbage that gets dumped elsewhere, is creating climate change issues in other nations that are more vulnerable to seeing those issues more quickly than we are. So I think realizing that our way of life is affecting others is really important, but also to look in the mirror and that we do have a lot of these issues in our own nation as well, especially when you start to break out demographics like our Indigenous communities, and many of them don't have clean access to water, or many of them are not receiving the same access to education. So when you start to pull apart the data, we get to see a better picture that in fact we have a lot of work to do ourselves. The partnerships for the goals is the final goal, number 17, which I think is really beautiful and fitting that it's the final goal. It's the one goal that will in its action bring together all of the other goals. So how we try to do that at Impact Hub is really creating this collaborative shared environment for diverse groups who care about the world to come and work on them together instead of siloed and alone. And in bringing our resources together, we can have a bigger impact. I think probably individuals have also seen that within our society there's more polarization than we've ever seen before, and so I think a lesson to take from our Impact Hub community is also to bring it into your own homes and to talk to your neighbor and understand how we can learn from each other and understand diverse opinions a little bit more, so that we can work more collaboratively together towards these goals. Because at the end of the day, we should all have a shared vision that we want a more beautiful and sustainable world that our children can be still here in a few years.